new workshop is slowly being transformed into an awesome new workspace. There's still so much to get done, but someone is committing to weekly videos, so I've got to get more videos done. We're going to work on the Crown this week. I've done 5,000 Ks in this thing and I've been loving it. Such an awesome car to drive. Awesome car to drive every day on a Sunday with a family. Get out, do sensible things in it, and I just love it. But it has starting to get a few problems with it. One is oil leaks. I've got an oil leak from the diff. I've got an oil leak from, I think it's the rear main, and also the transmission is playing up. When I shift to second, when I was at road trip, it was demonstrated there. I think what the problem is, I've got a shallow pan with it, a shallow pan with a standard pickup, and when I let off the trans brake, all the oil is sloshing to the back of the pan and it loses line pressure when I'm changing to second gear. So over time, doing that constantly over and over again, 5,000 Ks worth of it, it has developed an issue. So something's wrong, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna get the gearbox out and go see my mate to get it sorted. So we're gonna get that done. And while I'm here, just kind of tick off, give it a service, tick off heaps of other jobs while we're there. So get stuck into the Crown wagon. So here's what 5,000 K of driving does to the car. Absolutely filthy underneath here. You paint everything up nice and you drive through a puddle and it goes to crap. I've been using this, like I've been driving to the tip, I've been driving everywhere in it, but this is what happens. I've got an oil leak, so that must be front main or maybe the sump. To be honest, it's just a bit of a weep. I'm not too worried about that. Everything else seems pretty good. This is the rear main leak, so it is quite bad. It does drip on the ground. You can see that this bell housing's copped quite a fair bit of a smash. Even the pan has a couple of marks there. Like it's, you know, I tried to keep it at a reasonable height, which it is, but you know, these things happen. The exhaust copped a fair beating. Oh, that's new. Looks like the steering box is leaking something there. That's not fun. Yep. Copped a fair bit of a beating, the exhaust, but I knew that would happen. The gearbox actually isn't leaking. That just must be from, this is just engine oil. So that's a plus. Oh, good. And the diff, I already had a pinion leak, which I've already replaced that, but I think it's leaking from this gasket. So I'll do that. It looks really wet there. And that's the rest of it. I'll introduce it for some tyres soon, maybe. Yeah, good one. All right, hook in, get this tail shaft out, gearbox cross member down, starter out, converter bolts, and everything else. Well, that's bright. I'm sure I'll forget something else along the way too, so stay tuned for me swearing when I forget one bell housing bolt or something.
Oh, that's a gross colour.
I just ripped the pan off quickly, one, to check the dipstick height because I have got a lockable dipstick. You got to kind of calibrate the height of this, which to me says the pan level is going to be the high point, which is good. And the clutch material in the pan does not look good. That's bad. So I've done something wrong here. I've just misused it. I did do an oil change after the road trip, which was just a quick dump the oil and change a pan, but yeah, something's definitely gone wrong for there to be that much material there. It's nasty. Yeah, these two dickheads rock up to check it out, eh? Yeah, you're a Barra fan, aren't you? Yeah. What's going on?
Something wrong.
Oh, something's wrong, all right. Oh, you here, lads? I've got some painting to do upstairs if you want to grab a brush. Sure.
Someone designed the coffee good.
You got it on it.
Right, yeah.
Cross member off, got some of the bell housing bolts off, and these guys have played the FG sump torque converter bolts before. So now got to get those suckers out.
All the room.
Up the oh, there's a bit of room here. Out of the starter motor hole, so yeah. I don't have a gearbox jack as of yet, so we're just going to use the toolbox as as the gearbox jack, lower the gearbox down onto the toolbox and then lift the car back up on the hoist. Still waiting for it to come. I'll get one though, I am getting one. Here I am complaining about having a Barra in a Crown wagon, which is actually quite a large car. And Guy's got one in a KE20. That'd be fun. You gonna go back up for me, bro? I'll just keep an eye on it down here.
Same way we pull the gearbox out of it.
Yeah.
Just add a milk crate on top.
Oh, you put a milk crate on it?
Yep.
Go up. Yep.
All the way?
Yep. Yeah, bro. Keep going.
Keep going, yep.
There you go, one Turbo 400 out of the Crown. And it does actually look like it is the rear main that's leaking too. I can see there's oil in here. So I did have a valve cover leak ages ago. It actually was leaking down up the top, but just looking at the bell housing, that was done ages ago when it first started, but you can still see there's oil around here. So is it all just getting flung around, or oil goes everywhere? Anyway, that's out. I go drop this off at Mark's house now and leave it with him. He can sort me out. Next on the to-do list is to fix the leaking diff. It is just leaking from the gasket here, so I'm just going to pull the diff out, throw that gasket in the bin, and then just use some sealant instead. I'm going to reap the rewards of the floater too, so I've just got to basically pull the caps off the end, and then I can just slide the axles out 200 mil, and then the center can come out. I don't have to dismantle brakes or anything like that to get the axles out, so that is a win. Right on, get stuck into it. Look who's arrived, Mr. Koval.
Right.
What do you reckon about the Barra, mate?
Very nice. It's no 4G, but it'll have to do.
Come on, aren't you selling an Evo? Can I get, maybe I can get that on the channel, mate?
Isn't that why you got this trailer ready?
It takes up too much space, the trailer. I'd love to do a 4G swap in something, that'd be good. What about a rear-wheel drive 4G?
Barra in a Evo, you reckon?
Oh, no way. Someone will get upset about that. There's an LS Evo getting around somewhere, I think. Someone's done that. I'm sure they have.
Evo.
Yeah, Turbo LS. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess with the Barry, you keep it Aussie, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Keep it all Aussie, even though it's a Japanese car. Popped down to see the expert Mark, who was the guy that built the gearbox and has already told me no warranty. So I take responsibility, man. I know that I shouldn't have been driving it. And we're just going to dismantle the box. I'm forever learning. I've never pulled one apart, and I did put my hand up and say I'll do it, but Mark's already hooking in. So, of note with this 400 is the Barra bell housing. So the front of, you got any 400 cases around? You got glides? Oh yeah, there's one down over there.
That's fun, man.
So here's people might know this already, but that's a stock 400 case. So basically, the front of it gets chopped off, and the Barra bell housing gets bumping on through the oil pumps. We've just measured to the pickup from the pan and the filter, which is probably already in the bin, but the filter and the pickup was sitting about 10 mil off the bottom of the pan. So that's something that we are going to hopefully change, but the adapters for the pickup only come for deep pans. What sizes do they come in, Mark? Yeah, here's one we prepared earlier. Yeah, okay, sweet.
Longer one.
Yeah.
That might work for it.
Can we just like make this out of...
You can make it out of steel.
Yeah.
Or stainless or something like that.
Alright. So hook in, pull it apart, find all the broken clutches, and Mark can shake his head in disappointment. Oh, good job.
We'll go back to 4 there. Lock it up.
All right, Mark, tell me how good of a job I've done, mate.
You shagged it, mate.
So I pulled it apart. Mark's a gun at this. Obviously, he's done plenty of them in his time and got it apart in not record time, but I'm learning too. Show me along the way. And it is the second gear. All the clutches are cooked. So
4L60 second gear.
4L60 second, non-existent. So you can see here, you got your steels and friction. That's meant to be a friction and it's down to metal, so absolutely cooked. Everything's pointing towards that line pressure dropping. Yeah, me. Yeah, it is. Oh, I shouldn't have kept on driving it.
It's a part, like having a stock pan, the filter's 10, 12 mil off the bottom of the pan.
Yep.
We haven't got the same amount of volume of oil in that pan. So we saw on the data logs, it's dropping oil pressure.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what we do, it's gonna tear our clutches. So we need to try and fix that without putting a deeper pan on.
Yep.
Essentially, which is going to be fun, but we'll have a crack and I think we'll be okay. But everything else is good. You've just toasted a couple of clutches. We'll go through and do everything now, and it should be sweet.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to bring it back here again. So get it done. Stop by the laundromat on the way back from Mark's place to clean the gearbox up. It's all fresh, free of any oil, and now I can start to work on extending the pickup. So the measurement I have worked out is this needs to be extended 12 mil down. So extend the pickup just so this sits another 12 mil further, closer to the pan, and that way, hopefully, it can help with solving the issues. So this filter, I think it might be a high flow filter, it picks up from the top. So there's no reason why that can't be hard up against the pan. I probably will have it just spaced slightly off. I just actually tested this out with some water, and that 12 mil is actually just over a litre of fluid. So that extra litre of capacity in the pan covering this filter will help us. So I've got to pull this steel pickup apart and I'm going to cut it off, extend it. I've got a Jordan. Hey Jordan. I've actually got a 2JZ water pipe, which just happens to be 20 mil ID. I can slip this over the pipe and weld it to extend it. So just fired up the Unimig, have a bit of a test, and got it working. It seems to be working, so I'm just going to give it a red hot crack and hopefully not melt anything. If not, I'm back to Mark's house to try and find another steel pipe. So we'll get it done and get the gearbox back to Mark's house so he can rebuild it. Getting pretty high tech here, got the inspection camera out. We've just put a couple of tacks on the pipe and the TIG's working all right. Geordie helped me out with the settings, thank you mate. Geordie's got one at home. Now we're using the inspection camera to check the height of the pan, but we're not too sure the distance is it. When you look at your fingertip, you go, all right, cool. How deep is it? So I'm actually gonna use some salsa and I'm just gonna put a dribble like that. Oh, precision. And now I know if the pan touches the sauce, that's how thick it is. Yeah, go on, throw the pan on. As if that's not the smartest idea ever.
Hang on, I'm gonna touch them. Oh, yeah.
Keep going.
Oh yeah, we got contact.
All right, so what's happening is that must be pivoting on that front edge there. So we pretty well got it bang on.
I'd say that is bang on.
Yes. What I think may have been happening too is we had 12 mil, but I think the filter may have actually been getting tilted. So that 12 mil at the back of the pan, there's just a little spring. I've just put a bit of a washer there, but there's just a spring in between the valve body and the filter. But I think maybe this was happening with the filter. So instead of it being, okay, it might have been 12 mil that we measured, but that might have been more like 20 mil. And again, 20 mil, that's 2 litres of oil. So see how this goes anyway. I'm going to weld that up, pressure test it and see how we go. And then, nice little sauce. And,
Does that qualify as a skid factory cheat code? Or
what do you mean? Yeah, this is just basically bearing glue.
clearancing?
Good to go. Maybe I can pressure test it with tomato sauce.
Maybe. It's red.
I've whipped off the flex plate to suss out this oil leak from the rear main. I have bought a genuine Ford seal in precaution for this, but it has been leaking from the seal. You can see where it's leaking from. I just got it out, and there's a few spots on it where it just, I don't know, must just be crappy quality, or I don't even know what I did when I installed it. I can't even remember if I did replace it. I'm sure I did, but anyway, we're gonna throw that one in the bin. Hoo-yah! And then clean this up, throw the new seal in. If it's still leaking, then it's a sump that's leaking, but that's engine out job, which I don't want to do. So I'll process of elimination. I'll do the rear main first and then deal with the sump later. Flex plate bolts and converter bolts coming loose on your Barra is a common thing, and if it does happen, it's a very bad time. So when we actually put this flex plate on originally, we kind of covered what to do. One thing is, any powder coated surfaces, make sure they are cleaned off so it's bare metal, so there's actually nothing in between them that can get caught and possibly loosen the bolts. The other one we covered was these retaining bolt kits, which come from Maculec. I don't think we had them at the time, but he ended up sending them up and we've got them now. So there's 2 for 2 different types of bolts. I'm using the one that suit my bolts. These are actually like a 4AGE bolt, which are longer and 10 by 1.25 anyway. So I've done them up to 70 foot-pounds, and then just to line the retainer up, I've had to just give them a tweak, but that's good. I've just got to punch these little retainers over, and that should make sure that no bolts are coming loose. Then once I get the gearbox back, converter can go in. I'll make sure I'll slather the converter bolts in Loctite so they also don't come out, and we're good to go. You'll notice when I was doing the time lapse, I did chase the threads with the tap. That was basically because there was Loctite in there. You want to make it clean. I'll do the same thing to the converter when it goes in too, but that isn't going anywhere, as they say, and now we've just got to wait for the gearbox to come back and we're good to go. That's about all we can get done this week on the Skid Factory. Crown's been serviced. Gearbox is getting rebuilt as we speak. In the YouTube world, I would delay this episode and release something else, and then magically the gearbox will get rebuilt in one day, but we've got to order some parts. I've got to wait on Mark. Mark is a very busy man, and I totally respect that, so he's getting done when he can get it done. And in the real world, that's just what happens. So we'll get the gearbox rebuilt, get it all put back together, go for a road test. Hopefully it's fixed the issue with that first or second shift. And if it hasn't, then I'm probably gonna look down the path of an 8-speed swap. Probably not, I'll probably just pull it back out and try and sort it out. But anyway, that's all we've got time for. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the Skid Factory. Bye, have a great time. Please hold. Gotta charge me light. Every time you film something, your light goes flat. These things are sick, but they don't last 24 hours, unfortunately, when you leave them on. So I'll do a swapsy. Tool Pro for the win. Stadium lights. Yeah. Love them. Stadium lights? What stadium lights? Studio lights. That's a bit better. Lighting is atrocious in this shed. Got to speak to my electrician. Battery low, you reckon? How good's that? Take 5. Hey GoPro, heard you like working. Nope. Sorry, I got other things on my mind. I'm gonna quit right now, right about now when you start filming. How good is it working by yourself and just speaking to yourself all the time? There's no music on. You're just yapping away, and some courier rocks up and you're talking to yourself. He thinks you're on the phone or something, but you're actually just here yapping away. Oh, you idiot. Knew that would happen too. Derp.